Hey guys, Gary the Gremlin here, but I can't deal with that now because today I'm reviewing the Super-Poseable Indoraptor figure from Mattel. Happy Hybrid Ween! That's going to be the big theme with this month. I'm going to take some time to look at the freaks and monsters of the Jurassic franchise, be they sleek, clean movie monsters or strange, weird, forgotten 90s relics. First up is this figure, the rather boastfully titled Super-Poseable Indoraptor from the original 2017 Mattel Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom line. This is a very interesting figure, and while we're all sitting around with our thumbs up our butts waiting for the reveal of the eventual Hammond Collection Indoraptor, I thought it'd be fun to revisit this blast from the not-so-distant past. If you'll cast your mind back with me to 2017, I think you'll remember a lot of crazy stuff you've nicely blocked out.
Leave me alone!
Fidget spinners were still a thing. Net neutrality was currently the biggest threat to YouTube. Harambe was a big meme still. Late in the year, one Mr. Logan Paul took a really wacky trip to Japan. Hell, half of you weren't born yet, you wouldn't remember. The reason I bring any of this up is because that year is the year I got this Indoraptor in store at Walmart for a crisp $19.99 USD.
Wow.
Back then, Mattel had just got the Jurassic license and expectations for what they do with the line were sky high. They were rolling out an amazing looking line of toys for the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom movie, but I remember some odd details though. I can't find any images of this online, so if someone else remembers this, please back me up. But I don't recall the box I got saying Indoraptor like this photo shows. I could swear that the one I bought said Villain Dinosaur on the front. You know, the placeholder name. Like they forgot to name the thing and just slapped Bad Guy Lizard on there, calling it a day. None of this is important, by the way. I'm just purely curious if anyone else ever got a version of this that had that stuff on the box. I also got this toy long before the movie had come out, a thing younger me was very pumped about. Returning to the not-so-distant future, this Wednesday, AD, we've got a whole new lens to view this toy with. Remember, this toy came before even the Amber Collection. The Hammond Collection was just a small speck on the horizon. That's why I find it so odd that this toy exists. It clearly was a first stab at collector-marketed toys from Mattel, but there it was, nestled between the other mainline toys. So in this review, we're gonna really dissect this thing. See what makes it great, what's not so great, and what improvements I think Mattel needs to get right when they finally drop the Hammond Collection version. I also have some hangups with the design itself, but we'll get into all that later. First up, let's talk about the elephant in the room, that ugly ass head sculpt. Bro, what was going on here? Okay, I might have been overreacting a little. It's not horrible per se, but it's certainly not right. I've seen plenty of third-party replacement head sculpts for this guy out there, and they're nice, but I just rather wait for the Hammond Collection version and pray it doesn't have a big fat nose or the really horrible popcorn teeth like this one does. It looks like he's been sharpening his teeth on straight concrete cinder blocks. These things are worn down stubs. That is absolutely night and day the worst thing on this figure. I guess it is nice that they're painted individually, but these knobby whitehead looking teeth are just the worst. This big seam here isn't helping matters either, and neither is this random emo eyeshadow. What is this? Did the Indo stop at Hot Topic on its way after the breakout? My best guess would be that this red paint behind the eye is the result of this being based on an earlier concept design for the Indoraptor before it was finalized for the film. So that's the head sculpt. If we're making that checklist of things Mattel needs to fix on the Hammond Collection version, so far we need a better head shape, better teeth, no ugly seams, no eyeshadow, and also probably the right eye color. The movie Indoraptor has a golden eye, and no, not that golden eye, this golden eye. This deep red is just not cutting it. That's the checklist for now. Memorize it, there will be a quiz later. Now, I've got good news and bad news. Good news is that's pretty much all the flaws of the figure. Sure, there's some other nitpicks we'll get to, but we're pretty much in the clear. The bad news is that 75% of you watching are unsubscribed. That's not cool. If everyone watching this right now subscribed, well, to be honest, I don't know what would happen. But I'd sure like to find out, so please hit that subscribe button. Now that the head is out of the way, accuracy of the toy is fine. I really like the plastic used for this toy. It does feel a little bit denser and higher quality than your average Mattel mainline toy. And the whole thing has a slightly shiny sheen to it that gives him a snake-like quality. There are occasional spots of this rubbery plastic to make the quills, and I like it a lot. It's held up fine over time and looks good. There are some more quills that have been sculpted into the arm that look pretty darn nice. The black plastic he's molded out of also has these really nice random flakes of silver mixed in. Combined with the sheen of the plastic, it gives this toy a unique look and makes the detail seem higher quality without actually being that different. It's very smart. Because, like I just said, the detail isn't quite on par with the current Hammond Collection figures, but it's not even on par with older Hammond Collection figures. There's a pretty nice lattice of scales on the side of the figure and on the limbs, but on certain areas such as the whole underbelly or feet, the skin is just completely smooth and untextured. Like I said not 20 seconds ago, he mostly gets away with it fine and you don't notice because the dark color and shiny plastic, but it's still there. I do really love this gold stripe down the body, it's perfect. There's two different shades of gold layered over each other, this shinier one underneath and this darker one on top. Looks great and makes it seem like the light is catching the reflective scales and making them shine, when it's really just effective paintwork. What this toy is missing, however, is the rest of the gold. I hope a Hammond Collection version would include this, but the movie design has each little spike running down the back picked out with bits of the darker gold. It's understandable why it's not on this $20 experimental mainline toy, but the Hammond Collection version will need it to look complete. And before you comment, yes, my googly gang, I have seen the Nanmu version, and yes, I really want it. Yes, my wallet is in pain. Speaking of paint, my copy has this red splotch on the tail. Was it a factory error? Should I call up Daddy Mattel and demand a refund? No, that was just me. I dipped it in paint by accident while customizing another figure. We're just gonna pretend that it's dino damage. Indoraptor got into a fight with Blue. Let's roll with that. Actually, while we've got Blue out, let's do some size comparisons. From the tip of the tail to those ugly ass popcorn teeth, he's just a little over 15 inches long. Height honestly changes so much based on how you pose him, but in a good neutral pose, around 5 or 6 inches to the top of his back is what you'd expect. First up, channel mascot, Action Master Grimlock. Then, with the Hammond Collection Blue and of all people, Ian Malcolm. Today was the day I learned that I don't have a 1/18th scale Owen Grady figure. I somehow have gotten this far in my Jurassic collection without ever getting one. Let's keep it that way. I do have this big one, however, and he'll give you an idea of how Indo scales next to a 1/12th scale human figure, in case you wanted to see that. Who knows? Here's some Fallen Kingdom buddies, the Hammond Collection Baryonyx, Carnotaurus, Concavinator, and Stiggy Moloch. I didn't mean to go full alphabetical there, but these things just happen. Forgive me. Next to Barry, it's really interesting to see how much bigger the Indoraptor is for costing less money. Next up, the Wild Roar Utah Raptor, a very different interpretation for the design of a giant-sized raptor, and one I do happen to like a lot more. Last, let's bring out the Gary the Gremlin Council of Raptors. Personally, I think the Indoraptor is a fine size, but just fine. He's maybe a little bit too big. It's been years since I watched Fallen Kingdom, and I'm not interested in watching any of it now because that movie is hilariously stupid. But I seem to recall that the Indoraptor was at least small enough to fit in a cage or an elevator or a bedroom, which this figure is definitely much too big to do. I think if it was scaled down to be the same height as the Hammond Collection Baryonyx, it'd be perfect. But this is just the ramblings of an insane person, so feel free to disregard. I guess small size is another reason for me to buy that Nanmu Indoraptor toy, because I know he's kind of around the size I just described. Oh boy, my poor wallet. Now, if you've been a good listener, you deserve a prize. Here, take this scan code on the house. And if you've been a good listener, you'll recollect the name of this figure, rather arrogantly titled the Super-Poseable Indoraptor. With such a title as that, I think it only fair that we put it to the test. We all know he won't match up next to some third-party figures, but is he at least on par with the Hammond Collection figures in terms of posability? Let's find out. Posing time. Starting with that unpleasant looking head, we've got a pretty decent joint for the jaw. The neck does have a really great range of motion, however, with a ball joint here and here. Both can swivel all the way around, of course, and allows for Indo to look pretty high up, down, and side to side. Next, the shoulders hinge outwards very far, providing excellent T-pose options, and can rotate all the way around. The elbows hinge and swivel, and so do the wrists. These joints feel relatively thin and fragile, so I'd be careful. Plus, I've got just about a million comments from people informing me of how they broke their copy's hands. Mine's been fine, so maybe it's just how you treat your toy, but still be careful. Thighs have got some really nice and tight rotation, and it can go all the way around, and then the knees hinge and swivel, and the feet, well, the feet are their own thing. Listen, my googly gang, I was writing this script and getting really into it, laying into this guy for claiming to be super-poseable and then skimping on the ankle joints. The hypocrisy. There's no way Indo can earn the rank of honorary Hammond Collection figure, he's just not good enough. But counterpoint, Parasaurolophus. I had forgotten that the Hammond Collection Parasaurolophus also has the exact same ankle articulation. It doesn't excuse either of these, but the para does set a precedent for the Hammond Collection toys, and given that, I feel Indo comfortably fits in the realm of Hammond Collection posability. Yeah, sure, let him have it. He's earned his super-poseable title. To round out the articulation, only thing left is the tail, which simply has two jointed segments. This tail and those ankles are the only thing holding this guy back from what I'd call perfectly poseable. The tail is loose and the side-to-side movement is very pathetic. The ankles are really awkward to work with, given that they're missing a joint that they should have right here. For that hypothetical Hammond Collection version, I keep coming back to, we're gonna need a rubber bendy tail with ball joints inside and some proper ankle articulation. As is, it's a little awkward posing him entirely because these big massive stompers. Not even that I think his feet are oversized or anything. The proportions on this figure are great. I love this Slender Man dinosaur. The problem is completely the articulation. It's a good thing the hybrid in the film spent 90% of its time stumbling about on all fours like an idiot, because this toy works best posed quadrupedally. It's just on the verge of being good enough that I almost don't need a Hammond Collection version, but not quite. Unfortunately, it does have a couple prominent things holding it back from being the best it could be. So here's hoping that we get a Hammond Collection Indoraptor soon. I know I sound like a crazy man, but it can't be that far away, right? Right? Mattel's running out of species they could theoretically put in this line. I'm sure that this guy and his big sister are not that far away. Also, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video, share it with a friend, and comment below what you think. What future Hammond Collection figures do you want to see? Let me know. I don't want to talk your ear off, but also please consider becoming a channel member. It's about as much as one side of fries a month, and it gets you some awesome perks. Right now, I've got a short series ranking the Beast of the Mesozoic toy line slowly coming out, but members can see that all right now. If you really want to see where your favorite dino lands in the ranking, you can become a member and catch a peek. Alright, tune back in next week to see another review. Gary the Gremlin, out.